Let's go straight to meteorologist Alita Lureska. And Alita, this is the time to batten down the hatches.
That's right. And those preparations that we've been telling you to take care of since the weekend need to be in completion over the next couple of hours, really before the evening commute gets going, because that's when some of the heaviest of the rain will be pushing through the area. Already seeing some saturated ground. You can see the tropical clouds overhead. We're seeing that wind starting to pick up down along the coastline, helping to roughen up those seas. Right now, the winds gusting across some of our coastal areas already in the 20 to 30 mile per hour range. I did see Galveston Airport briefly reporting a wind gust of 40 miles per hour. This is all out ahead of the system. Nicholas right now, a tropical storm, but it's a strong tropical storm at 60 miles per hour. The latest forecast track continues to keep it northward, keeping it to the north at about 12 miles per hour. That is the good news this morning as of the latest advisory, the 10 a.m. advisory, showing that it has picked up in speed. However, the low-level centers looking not so organized, if you will. In fact, the low-level center from earlier this morning pretty much became disorganized. They found a new low-level center. That center of circulation is going to continue to push to the north. Right now, it is moving toward the north at 12 miles per hour. On this track, it is expected to make landfall, as you mentioned, Melanie, between Corpus and Matagorda County. The system is going to continue to rain itself out as it continues to the north. Right now, the latest thinking from the National Hurricane Center is that it is expected to weaken to a tropical depression by Tuesday night and then continue to rain itself out. Right now, we're not seeing any sort of indication of slowing, but some of our high-resolution models are painting a picture where the heaviest of the rain could be ongoing for several hours. We talk about the flash flooding risk. A flash flood watch resumes for much of our area along I-10, even a few counties to the north. But there are some other risks, some other impacts. And with those impacts, want to go over to meteorologist Kevin Roth for more details. Kevin.
Yeah, Alita, there's no doubt the flooding is the primary concern with this system. Just about everyone in southeast Texas needs to be prepared for heavy rain and flooding. But that isn't the only threat. There's also the winds that a system like this brings, the storm surge, and the potential for tornadoes. Let's start with some of those tropical storm force winds. What you're looking at here is a map of the probability of seeing tropical storm force winds. That's 39 miles per hour or stronger in these various locations throughout the duration of this system. In Houston, a 45% chance of seeing those tropical storm force winds, increasing as you go farther south and west. 55% chance in Sugar Land and Pearland, 60 in Wharton. As you head towards Bay City and Palacios, very likely you will see those tropical storm force winds. And it's those areas farther southwest that are also more likely to see more widespread power outages. Whereas you head farther northeast, those winds less of an issue. Power outages will also not be a significant issue. Now, around this system, the center of circulation here will be here, but around that, these winds are pushing in the water into our bays. So anywhere from the San Luis Pass east into Louisiana, we're going to see a 2 to 4 foot storm surge with that. From the San Luis Pass farther to the south and west, all the way into Matagorda Bay, you're talking a 3 to 5 foot storm surge. Of course, that storm surge is a big concern to any of those coastal residents. So that's something you need to keep in mind on top of the rainfall. And then last but not least, there is the potential here for some tornadoes. That would be more isolated, but anytime you get into one of these tropical systems, they can spawn those brief, quick spin-up tornadoes. That's something that anyone, especially along and south of I-10, should be on the lookout for. Alita, though, that primary concern here for the vast majority of our residents is the rain, how much we're going to see and how fast it's coming down.
Absolutely. We've already seen some areas picking up 1 to 2 inches in a small amount of time, and that is going to just continue throughout the afternoon and evening. Right now, the leading edge of some heavy rain is pushing toward the medical center. Those of you around downtown, this is moving in your direction. This is kind of our next big wave of moisture. That first wave that moved in right around the morning commute has now shifted to the north. That next wave of moisture now is going to be pushing from the coastline inland, and then we've got more of these waves waves coming in. Most areas along the coastline already picking up 1-2 inches of rain, but on top of that, we're anticipating an additional, we're looking at maybe 5 to 10 inches. Inland areas along the coastline, over 15 inches of rain. So no doubt about it, you need to get your preparations finished before end of business day. And really, if you can stay off the roads, Melanie, before the evening commute, if there's any way you can take off early from work, 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon, because once the sun goes down, unfortunately, for some areas, it may be too late to get on the road. So we're encouraging you to get into place as early as you can, because the heavy rain that's sitting offshore is going to be pushing inland over the next several hours.
And you're telling people that wherever they are tonight, plan on being there for a while.
That is correct. It doesn't look like the rain really lets up until possible mid to late morning, even early part of the afternoon tomorrow.